What's going on, gang? On gang, how the hell are you doing? You doing? Tell me what is going on, gang. On gang, how the hell are you doing? What's going on, fam? What is the word? It's your boy Phantm Phuego, Phantmphuego, and you are tuned into the news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his got a point of view. Oh, oh, oh. Hope you guys are having a decent week, man. Now, you know what they say if about that glove not fitting. R.I.P. to one of the dopest lawyers and legal minds ever in the history of the profession of law, Johnny Cochran. If the glove does not fit, you must acquit. And what you mean if the glove don't fit, you must acquit? Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Jigga Kelly not guilty, man. Listen, I don't have a dog in this fight either way. But it is very entertaining to watch people who also have proverbially no dog in the fight go crazy like they do. What you mean we don't have no dog in this fight? You don't have a dog in the fight. The man is no longer your president. You just spent a week's worth of taxpayer money, hundreds of millions of dollars in taxpayer money, arguably. For what? For what? For what? Tell me what was gained. And if hundreds of millions of dollars is an exaggeration, was it millions? Was it tens of millions? Was it hundreds of thousands? Okay, whatever amount of money it was, we out here talking about, we can't get full $2,000 stimulus checks. We got to cut it down to $1,400 because y'all already got $600 a couple weeks ago per person in your household. So we're going to cut this down to $1,400, and 14 plus 6 is $2,000. $2,000 in your hand. It's like a radio commercial for a contest. We're going to put $2,000 in your hand, but we put $600 in your hand the last time you called in and won. So we just going to put this $1,400 in your hand and split the difference. So they don't have money to do all that. They got to do, number fudging and carry the 1 and subtract the 2 and lift this and move that. But when it comes to putting on a trial, paying for legal counsels, paying for security, paying for the lights to be on, the heat to be on, it's the winter time, water, all the amenities, paying for lunch staff or people to go get lunch, or paying for Ubers or for drivers, paying for gas for the fleet of cars that Joe Biden said that the government owned, government issued cars. How much money did this cost? And how much of that money could have gone to getting people direct checks in their hands who have been struggling this whole time? And even if you ain't struggling, dealing with this bullshit this whole time, even if you was able to keep the roof over your head and keep your money about the same, if you had to start paying for masks, you had to start reusing and rewashing masks and going through all this extra stuff. Oh, they want you to wear gloves at work, or they want you to do this or do that. They want you to go take tests, and you ain't getting no additional pay for none of this nonsense. But all the corporations is getting money for providing you PPE, whether they do or not. All the corporations is getting payroll protections, whether you got extended hours or not. as an individual citizen. So when it comes time again to hit the individual citizens with some chicken, keep them clucking, keep us buzzing, keep things moving in the day-to-day lives of the citizens of this country whose tax dollars these are anyway. When it comes time to do something for them, it's, well, we got to carry the one and cross the two and make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. But when it comes time to giving Israel money, as they did in the last bill, which according to the person who just got acquitted in his speech about the last bill that they just passed, the $1.8 trillion, was it? Or 1.9 trillion, forgive me if my math is off, but the one that just recently passed where everybody got the 600, and he talked about all of the unnecessary spending from his perspective that was going on with the bill. $300 million, or excuse me, $3 million to count fish in Alaska and all these wild things, right? When they doing all of that, while they're doing all of these things with money that American citizens are going to have to pay back with their blood, sweat, and tears, their sweat equity, their work capital, their physical collateral, all that, right? Oh, they just got married. They might have 2 or 3 kids. Those 2 or 3 kids are going to become productive members of society, barring any type of big issues. So we'll calculate and allocate another $1 million of debt to that family right there, because there are 3 children. They're college educated family, middle America. They'll all easily earn about $300,000 throughout their lifetime. So we'll add $1 million of debt to that fam over there. So these people are calculating how each family can help pay back these debts over time. You don't get to make no decisions on that. You don't get to be like, hey, I don't really agree with this. I don't really agree with that. You don't get to say, hey, I think we could use the money differently, for this purpose or for that purpose. There's no vote going on. They don't take a survey. But you get the bill. You always get the bill. But when it comes time to help the person who's actually paying the bill out, the economy's looking good. The economy has bounced back. What are you basing it on? I mean, look at the stock market. It just looks amazing. Well, how many of the people who are supposed to get direct checks even play in the stock market? Even invest? Even have hedges of assets? How many? My guess is not enough. How many of those people are invested in the crypto space? Foreign exchange? Any of it? Very few, right? So when we talk about these things, we got to keep that in mind. That, they're basing how the economy looks on the things that not everybody in the economy is even engaged in. Wall Street, the stock market, the Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ. How big corporations are doing and how their outlook looks for the next 3 or 4 years. Because if the big corporation is doing good, hopefully they'll hire you. So hopefully over that same time frame, you'll be able to do retail spending and it'll boost consumer money as well. There's this thing they do called trickle down economics, where if they do good for the top, some of that will also benefit the bottom. But they never have a trickle up. They never have a grow up economics, where if we invest in these people at the bottom, how would that help out the top? And you know what? It's always been shown that direct infusions into the people that are the consumers, that are the taxpayers of society, the workers. Direct infusion into them always helps out the entire society. Even Kamala Harris, in her conversation she had, where she made the really hot take that she wouldn't do anything that would solely help out black folks. No. What she would do would help out everyone. Because if you give money, even if you just give money to African Americans, black people, whatever you want to classify them as, indigenous, autochthonous, you know what I mean, natives, however you, whatever you, Moors, whatever you calling that group of people these days, the chosen people, the Hebrews, the original Hebrews, whatever, the true Jews, whatever, man, whatever's your flavor of the month. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that with no disrespect. I'm just saying that there have been so many different labels put onto people that the people themselves don't know what they should identify as. And that's truly tragic, you know? So I mean it with no disrespect at all. It's confusing to me and frustrating to me just as much as it is to all of my kinfolk, my skin folk that ain't kinfolk, and the others. You know what I'm saying? So we all confused about it, but we can't say that wasn't done on purpose at this point, because there's so much evidence that it clearly was. But anyway, check this out. Damn, I'm so smacked. Shout out to AJ's Kitchen. AJ's Kitchen, in collaboration with their sister company, or brother company, I guess you would say. They probably are the sister company, I guess. A Tomb Ray's Pantry is now offering all these amazing infused dishes, CBD infused gummies, CBD infused topicals, lotions, oils, massage creams, what have you. AJ's Kitchen at gmail.com, or a Tomb Ray's Pantry at gmail.com. They also have, Instagram, IG, Snaps, all that. They're really starting to get their things together over there. Coming along a long way, looking amazing. Shouts to them. AJ's Kitchen at gmail.com, or a Tomb Ray's Pantry. Tomb Ray's Pantry, ATUMRUYS, a Tomb Ray's Pantry at gmail.com. Proudly serving NYC. Tomb Ray's Pantry, holistic health organically, and AJ's Kitchen, happiness served. Order up. I think they're still working on the the slogan for a Tomb Ray's Pantry. It doesn't roll off the tongue like at AJ's Kitchen. I'm sure they'll have updates for those things. But hardworking people out here, man, just trying to make $1 and a dream shake, and gotta respect it, gotta love it. Definitely anybody who's looking for vegan foods on a budget, vegan snack foods, gluten-free, allergen-free snack foods, nut-free snack foods for your kids, trying to make sure they're eating healthy, especially with all this stuff going on with Gerber and Walmart and Earth's Finest Organic and Beech Nut. I mean, you really can't trust these bigger brands. And the more research I've been doing into that story, for those that haven't had an opportunity to hear Wednesday's episode, and as well as Sunday's episode, where we start really going in on the reports of all the toxic baby food. Check those out. Check all the previous episodes out. You know what I'm saying? And let's really get to it. Yeah, man, it's crazy times. We're gonna take a quick break, gang, and we'll be right back. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. Welcome. If this is your first time listening, thank you so much. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Wednesdays and Sundays is when we get it in. Set your notifications so that you are rocking with us every single time, and you are in the loop when we post new episodes. We'll be right back. This is his Ghetto Point of View, bringing you the news, views, previews, and reviews. With just a twist of his got a point of view. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know, I think I could sing, y'all. That's just me being silly. We'll be back. Yay. We here. It's Sunday. Yeah, we back, gang. We back, gang. So I hope y'all week was good, man. And I hope all of the situations going on with the acquittal that wasn't an acquittal and all the money that could have been used for things that may have been successful. Because, I mean, they said that this thing wasn't going to go through from the jump. Like, I mean, they literally started the case saying that they would not have enough people to acquit him, yet still decided to spend the money. So, like they said, they were able, the Democrat defense team said, we wanted to get things on the record. Why are you planning to retry the case? I mean, that's usually a reason you would want particular things to be on the record. So, it doesn't seem like this is going away anytime soon. But yeah, good use of tax dollars. Good use of tax dollars. Good use of tax dollars. So, in other news, gang, DMX has a comeback album in the works. It has got the who's who of the industry dropping balls and giving them dope heaters to rapple. So, according to Hip Hop DX, DMX confirms Griselda and the late Pop Smoke are featured on his long-awaited comeback album. DMX fans have been anticipating the Rough Rider Legend's 9th studio album since his 2019 release from prison. But and by the looks of it, the project is slowly but surely taking shape. During a recent interview with the popular Revolt series Drink Champs, X spoke to host DJ FN and Nori about the impending release and confirmed at least 2 of its special guests. In a preview clip from the episode, X reveals Griselda's Conway the Machine, West Side Gun, and Benny the Butcher, as well as the late Pop Smoke, are featured on the project. I got the Griselda boys, Pop Smoke, he says, that's what type of new I'm doing. When asked if I'd ever have Pop Smoke, X replied, no, the growling was just a coincidence. Oh, what if I'd ever met Pop Smoke? No, the growler was just a coincidence. Prompted Nori to say, if you and 50 Cent had a baby, that's Pop Smoke, nigga. Yo, shout out to Nori. X. Yo, that's a whole fact, though. Jesus. X thought about it for a second and said, be awkward, but he would have the baby. He would have the baby. It would be ours, but he would have it. I get it. What? DMX hasn't released a proper studio album since 2012's Undisputed. But following his epic versus battle with Snoop Dogg last July, building on the momentum of that, of course, this is the perfect time to put out an album. He's clearly raring to go, especially since he's finally secured his freedom. X walked out of Gilmer Federal Correction Institution on January 25th, 2019, after serving 1 year behind bars. For tax evasion. X turned himself in July of 2017, posted a $500,000 bail, and was briefly allowed to go home on house arrest. However, after delivering, some dirty urine for a drug test, the judge ordered that he be taken into custody. Dang, X, say it ain't so. I mean, just very interesting. I mean, I for one am looking forward to a dope album from X. The 50-year-old rap vet has struggled with substance abuse for the majority of his adult career. If that is putting it so nicely. Struggled with substance abuse. I don't think he'd be the person he was if it wasn't for the substances. That's a different conversation. To be honest, yeah, I'm not sure if DMX would be the same person. What do you guys think? Do you think DMX would be who he is? Who knows, right? That's a good question, though. And another segment, X's F. Very sorry when asked if there are parts of himself that he helped to. When he asked were if there were parts of himself to help him cope with his mental health, X-Born Earl Simmons replied yes, then paused before adding there are different things. There's a few things, a few people in me, and they get me through life. Press for more information. He added, I wouldn't want anyone to know anything. I don't talk about them. You already got me talking about them. Nope. But in another segment, X's ex-wife Tashera Simmons suggested Earl is the child who was there before his father left and his mother didn't know how to handle him. Simmons said that the more aggressive persona of X was created to protect Earl to take on all the trauma of his childhood, called him the angry one. Meanwhile, DMX is the entertainer who looks out for Earl, but he's so much nicer. X later explained they're there to get me through life. I don't know if I made them or God gave them to me or maybe circumstances and situations did. So he's talking about the different personalities that he has. X, who's like the unknown variable, Earl, and then DMX, who's like the entertainer guy that everybody loves, and so he's got those different parts to his personality that he feels helped him cope with all of the different traumas that he's going through in his life. I actually watched his the Rough Riders BET special. It's first of all, it's excellently done. It's really good, very interesting, really dope. Highly recommend it. And yeah, I really can't say enough about it. I highly recommend it. It's definitely something to check out. Yeah, it's a very, very great series, and you learn a lot about DMX and also his early interactions with Jay Z, and how they both was coming up around the same time, and you don't realize how much of a grind it is to come up in the music industry until you start to watch some of these behind the curtain documentaries. How many times his records failed before he was able to finally get a record that people rocked with. And I guess a lot of times we don't really consider the level of consistency it takes to become a star at something, to become really proficient at something. Not only become so proficient at it that you can do it at a high level, but then to do it in a way that other people love and enjoy and can consume at a high clip. Because I mean, at the end of the day, this is all about having high level consumption of whatever goods or services. If you got a book, if you got a video game, if you got an app, if you got a new song, it's about high level consumption of it, having people add it to their day-to-day routines, whether they be bopping to it on their way to work, listening to it on their morning drive, flexing to it at the gym, making love to it, you know, soothing their baby to it at night, dancing to it on their way up the aisle, or at a momentous ceremony, or at a somber family event like a funeral. When it's something like music, it's you want it to be able to be relatable and to be put into people's lives in different moments, because that emotional attachment to it will always have them turning back to it. So, it kind of gives your music that intrinsic value. So shout to DMX. I hope that pops off. I'm very much a big fan. I'm very much a big fan. I'm very much a big fan. And as usual, gang, this is his ghetto point of view, bringing you the news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his ghetto point of view. Ooh, yeah, yeah, his ghetto point of view. I be twisted, man. I'm be out here just having a good time. I am just out here having a good time. Uncut White, she's having a good line. So, in other news, gang, a teen makes a false police claim makes a false calls in a false issue and catches a felony for lying. What? You be like, word? That's what's going on now. Yes, the hell it is apparently. So a teen, according to the Daily News, teen calls 911 when bouncer confiscates her fake ID and gets hit with a felony charge, as she should. An 18-year-old woman was arrested after the police. She called police to complain that a bouncer was at a bouncer at a bar had confiscated her ID. What she didn't tell them is, of course, that it was a fake ID and that, oh, she said he confiscated her fake ID. Blackley Sands, or AKA Maccabee Queen, according to her driver's license. Crazy. Became upset when a bouncer at the bar in Oklahoma City took the ID she tried using at the establishment last week, reports the Smoking Gun. So what did she want? She wanted him to what? Let her have her ID back. I'm confused. I'm confused. Like, I'm very confused. What does she expect to happen with this whole situation? Like, is she really that retarded? Then she doubled down on her bluff and called 911. When police arrived and checked out the phony ID, they discovered the driver's license number on Sand's ID card was registered to a 43-year-old woman who lived in Texas. Damn. Video posted on Tulsa, Oklahoma station's KOTV shows police in the town of Edmond standing with Sands outside the Wolf Trap bar asking if the ID is fake. No, she answered, yeah, I'm sure. When asked if she's positive the ID is authentic, Sands was arrested for using false ID to mislead a peace officer, which is a felony. So instead of just taking the L, you got caught. The security dude caught you, the bouncer, whatever. He's like, nah, man, you can't get in here. You try, like, first of all, young lady, stop trying to grow up so fast. Young ladies, stop trying to grow up so fast. You rushing to go get into a bar to drink so some dude could try to take advantage of you? Or maybe you were going there to meet a date already? Like, young lady, go hang where young people hang. Oh, nah, I want to be in the bar with the grown folks. To do what? Grown things. Okay, Miss Grown Thing, now take your grown ass and a felony in grown jail. Take your grown ass a grown felony. Oh, that's messed up. She was just trying to have a good time. Why you act like you never went to a First of all, I wasn't into the bar scene like that. I guess that's more a Midwest type of thing. Like out here, it was about getting into the parties and stuff, and we wanted to party with people our age, so it wasn't an issue of trying to go party with people that was all older than us. I don't know. I guess, listen, man, maybe this is an Oklahoma thing. But Sands was arrested for using false ID to mislead a peace officer, which is a felony. And it might be more of a female thing, too, to be fair. Because usually, even out here in the city, you have a lot of females that try to get into the clubs. And, they talking to the older men. And a lot of that stuff ends terribly, terribly wrong. Some of it ends fine. They have a good time. The guy has a good time, whatever. Guys don't need to be talking to girls that young that is literally preying and being a predator. And it is a crime for a reason, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it ends completely safely. But more often than not, you have this young woman who now has had these experiences with this older person. And she might not never be right after that. You know what I'm saying? She might always be looking for these older, fast experiences and never will ever give a dude that's on her level a chance to really have a family with her because she might be too like going into this particular lifestyle. And that's just very unfortunate because that's not a lifestyle you can sustain. At some point you become the older lady in the place. You don't stay the young, hot to trot young lady. And if you invest all of your time that could be used building up real relationships, strong relationships that could lead to familial ties, marriages, what have you, children, and to just being a party. It's your life. You entitled to it, but are you gonna get what you really want long term that way? Oh, but I'm young. I'm just partying. But when you young is when you supposed to. It's wrong. It is definitely. It's. I might sound hypocritical, but women don't have the same type of biological clock. I mean, that's just nature. And yeah, you could do all these things to try to fight against your nature and your biological clock, but it exists for a reason. And yeah, you could say, oh, I don't want to have kids, so I don't care about none of that. Cool. But if you do want to be married and have kids and live that type of life, which is, at least 50% of women, then these are things you as young ladies should be mindful of. The other half, you doing what you're doing, you having your good time anyway. So, oh well, it is what it is. But even some women who don't want to have children want to be married, and these things don't really help with that. And it's like, oh well, that's messed up. Men get to, all right, y'all never gonna win at this comparative game. We're not gonna be all the same. And when we get into this homogenized society, I don't think people are gonna get what they really thought they would. I don't think it's gonna be what people thought it was gonna be. That's what all I'm gonna say. I don't think this homogenized everybody the same. Everybody could do the same things and be the same way and act the same way and carry out the same activities. I think people are gonna miss being special. People are gonna miss being in their designations, their categories, their groups. I think people are really gonna miss it because yes, some groups is just tribalism and nonsense, but some designations like men, women, the things they do, like some of those things exist for a reason. Some of it is sexist nonsense, of course, patriarchy bullshit, facts. But some of it exists for a reason. Some of it really does exist for a reason. There is a natural clock to a woman's body. And if, she's running and gunning for a very long period of time, I hate to say this, sisters, queens, but if you spend, 20s, 30s running and gunning, when you 40, 43, 44, 45, talk about you want to be married now and this and that, you're limiting your options. If you're not in Hollywood or something, you're limiting your options. And if you're only going to, if what you bring to the table is, oh, I have a successful career, I'm this money woman, then you're going to be looking to attract someone who's attracted to you for your finances. And I don't know if that's really what you want. You know what I'm saying? Men don't want that. So why would a woman want that? And men are expected to be providers. So why would a woman want that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just my 2 cents, gang. It's your boy Phantm Phuego, bringing you the news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his ghetto point of view. Oh, please continue to like, share, and subscribe to the show. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Wednesdays and Sundays, we get to it like it's nothing to it. You know how we do it. Yeah. And yeah, whatever platform you're on, whether it be Spotify, shout out to Spotify, it's Anchor. Much appreciation to Anchor as always for letting us rock and do what we do. If you're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Republic Radio, One Radio, Pocket Radio, Pocket Cast Radio, etc. Whichever particular platform you're listening through, please make sure to set your notifications, like, subscribe, favorite it, hit the heart, hit the thumbs up, hit the check, set it so that it lets you know, it notifies you when the next episodes are up and available for you to stream, and share it out to your friends, man. Anybody that you feel could get something positive out of these messages, anybody in the arts and music community, anybody in the business community, anybody interested in health or wellness, anybody interested in, crypto, finance, getting their money up, getting their bags up, just being the best version of themselves as they can be. Anybody that's trying to be a part of this loving family and this huge community, please share the show out to them, gang. Share the show out to them and let them know. And as always, anybody that has any products that they would like to get in front of our amazing audience, his ghetto point of view at gmail.com. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. HISGHETTOPOINT. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. Definitely appreciate that super, super much. Going to take another quick break. and we're going to jump back into some more news, views, previews, and reviews. With just the twist of his ghetto point of view. View. I'm definitely going to get the song done soon, gang. I really like that. I think that'll be a nice little tag for the show. But let me know what y'all think as always. And if y'all have anything, y'all got any dope songs that y'all think I could use. Royalty free, or the artist got to be willing to let me use it from a complimentary basis. Guys, you know, we just on the come up out here. I don't have $10,000 to $50,000 to be paying for any productions right now. $2,500 to be honest. So that's why royalty free, or an artist that's willing to do it just for the love of the show, I'm down for it. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. And speaking of which, gang, the one last thing I always like to say is please continue to donate to the show. Much love to those who continue to donate, those who've donated. If you haven't had a chance to donate yet, it's not too late. It's still time. Every day is a good day. No amount is too small. PayPal.me/Phantm Phuego. That is PayPal.me/Phantm Phuego. PHANTM PHUEGO, or on Venmo at Phantm-Phuego-42, the number 4, the number 2. So that's Phantm-Phuego-42. All lowercase is fine. So PayPal.me/Phantm Phuego, or Venmo at Phantm-Phuego-42, Phantm-Phuego-42. Thank you, gang, so much for the love. We'll be right back. Yeah, gang, so we back. So I wanted to address something that I saw a while back, but I never really talked about it. I've talked about it, overall, as an overall thing, with everything going on with COVID-19. And of course, we've heard a few stories about how so many different doctors and frontline professionals are just having a lot of negative effects with this initial round of taking these shots. How some people have even passed away, some doctors have even passed away, and most recently you have this elderly gentleman over here in New York City in front of the Jacob Javits Center pass away about 25 minutes after receiving the vaccine outside of the Javits Center on its steps. So Fauci urges Black community to be confident in COVID-19 vaccine. The time is now to put skepticism aside. So I don't know if anybody's recently seen that Hip Hop Health channel. They recently posted a music video with DMC of Run DMC, making a song referencing some of Run DMC's most famous quotable lines, saying that the shots are good. Let's trust the shots. You've had Dr. Anthony Fauci going around, and doing these very, I'm not going to lie to you, gang. I got to give you his ghetto point of view. These absolutely scripted looking interviews with people like Tiffany Haddish and Steph Curry, and it looks disgusting, man. Like, what are we doing? And then Joe Buttons, bro, what are you doing? Joey, you was my guy. You was like, I was here riding with you, bro. I mean, is that a part of the thing? Is that a part of the Patreon deal? Like, let me know, man. I don't understand, Joe. You know what I'm saying? I understand, people like Charlamagne the God doing that because he works at Clear Channel. DJ NV, Angela Yee, Clear Channel. You know what I'm saying? I understand these guys over at Hot 97 doing it. MS Communications. I get it. Bigger boys, right? Cutting the checks. You got to do what you got to do. But Joey, you hung your hat on I'm the independent guy. I'm the independent guy. I'm a fight for what's right. I'm a fight for what's mine. And I understand at the end of the day, you didn't go out there and say, well, everybody needs to take this and do that. But you did seem very accommodating and very comfortable with the answers he was giving. You didn't really give any pushback. There wasn't any, even the other, like, Maul and Rory, I didn't hear really any, you know what I'm saying? Parks, I didn't really hear anybody. The Parks, of course, don't really talk that much, but I ain't really hear anybody saying anything, asking any questions. I didn't hear any of the big issues brought up from, if you would have just taken 5 minutes to not even 5 minutes, I'm sorry, if you'd have taken a week or so to gloss over any of the stuff from Dr. Washington, the writer of Medical Apartheid, and used any of that history to have the conversation with him under that context. But it seems like when we get in the room with these individuals, we talk all that freedom when it's among us. But we get in the room with the people that's really doing the oppressing, we get quiet. We get quiet, man. And what's the point of that? How do we help ourselves? How do we help our people if every time we get in the room with the people that's really putting their foot on our neck, we start to run and hide and turn and be like, I don't want that static. Who are we helping when we do that? How are we making a better future for our kids when we do that? Oh, all that sounds right to me, doctor. You're the doctor. Just like DMC was saying in the music video, just trust the doctor because they're the doctor. You got it, doc. You're the doc. Like, and that was a big. There's this thing that goes on in many communities, especially communities, lower income communities, what have you, communities of people that don't always have a lot of letters behind their names, a lot of degrees or what have you. You have this thing where because they have a white coat on, because they have a degree, because they have some awards on the wall, some plaques, some trophies, what have you, we automatically give them this credence like, oh my God, they are so smarter than me. They are so much more intelligent than I am. I better just be quiet and do what they say. And we've seen that work so negatively for so many people, particularly in communities like mine. Black and brown communities have been so negatively affected by tons of issues in the medical community that now we're playing like all of that is a joke and none of that actually happened. We're playing like all of that is a joke and none of that actually happened. It's very much disturbing. It's very much disgusting. It makes no sense to me. Anytime you guys get a chance, please read the book Medical Apartheid. Apartheid, for those who are not familiar. It was written by Dr. Washington, and then she's also given some very powerful lectures, which you can literally just find on YouTube. It's just taking the moment and taking the time to check it out. So Dr. Anthony, so I'm really ashamed of Joe Buttons. I'm ashamed of Rory. I'm ashamed of Maul. Like, if people go out there and get shots because they listen to y'all, are y'all going to throw them the bag if they get a negative reaction? Of course you're not. But you will allow your platform to be a vehicle for promoting such a thing. You guys got to do better. If you are allegedly uneducated about it, then how do you have the authority to speak intelligently on the subject? You don't, so you shouldn't. Oh, I brought in the intellect. I'm supposed to bring in the hoteppers. No, there's a ton of amazing actual doctors who you can speak to about it. If you're going to bring Dr. Fauci on, then you should also bring a doctor on like a Stella Emanuel, like a like a Dr. Gold, any of the doctor, like a Dr. Batar. Um, I mean, there's so many doctors you could have brought on to at least have given some type of balance to the perspective. Some balance to the perspective. You don't have to bring any of the woke hoteppers, KT, the arch degrees, you know, Dr. You know what I mean? Any of the heirs of Layala Africa's, throwing Dr. Sabi's. You don't have to bring none of them. No, they are actual doctors. There's a doctor, Dr. Gold. I can't remember her first name at the moment, but she is the head of America's Frontline Doctors, and they are a group of doctors from all over the country who are not taking the standard approach to preventing, treating, trying to heal the coronavirus. They are looking into all types of alternative medications and alternative medicines and different approaches that have worked, that are working, that have shown a history of proven results. And I feel, just in the sake of fairness, since he claims to be this impartial arbitrator of just information and facts and knowledge, bring one side on, bring the other side on. You ain't got to bring them on the same day. Let them each have their moment and ask them both real tough questions. And let the chips fall where they may. But to present yourself as this unbiased member of this unbiased news reporter, this investigator, this almost this journalist now, is the evolution of this side of his character. That's not what you're doing at all, man. You just a propagandist for the propaganda machine. And God bless you. I hope the check is large, man. I hope it's large, Joe. I lost my faith in you, man. One of my dopest, most favoriteest rappers ever. All type of mood music mixtapes in my basement, in my crib. All type of mood music mixtapes in my crib. Damn, Joe. Damn it. All right, so this article states Dr. Anthony Fauci says it's time for black people to trust the vaccine and put away the skepticism. And I feel that this is in conjunction with a lot of these interviews you see him doing on largely black platforms. So sorry, gang. Give me 1 second. Just having a bit of a technical difficulty. But yeah, as always, thank you, gang, for tuning in to the news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his Ghetto point of view. Ooh. So Fauci urges black community to be confident in COVID-19 vaccine. The time is now to put skepticism aside. This is a CBS News article by Zoe Kristen Jones. Dr. Anthony Fauci on Tuesday urged confidence in the coronavirus vaccine during a conversation with leaders of a coalition of black doctors, faith leaders, and academics. Black Americans are nearly 3 times more likely to die from the virus than their white counterparts, the CDC says. But because of a long history of mistrust, studies suggest black Americans are less likely to get vaccinated than other ethnic groups. I, myself, will be getting vaccinated. Will be perfectly comfortable with taking the vaccine, and I will recommend it for family, said Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease doctor. The conversation comes as 2 coronavirus vaccines are awaiting approval, with more than 280,000 Americans having died from the coronavirus, which has infected over 15 million people. Fauci pointed to the work of his colleague, Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, a black scientist who led the National Institute of Health's vaccine research and is at the forefront of Moderna Inc.'s vaccine development. I don't care if a black person is at the forefront. That don't make it good for black people. You're not going to do that okie doke with me. The first thing you might want to say to my African American brothers and sisters is that the vaccine you're going to be taking was developed by an African American woman. And that's just a fact, Fauci said. I think that's one of the things that people don't fully appreciate. So I appreciate wasn't it a black nurse who gave the men the syphilis vaccines during the Tuskegee experiment? Wasn't it several black nurses and doctors who helped push the agenda during the AIDS epidemic? No, I am fully aware. Wasn't it black churches who were used to influence people to sign up for bad loans before the housing collapse? So we are fully aware that there are wolves in sheep's clothing, and we not playing this game. Let's not do this. FDA scientists on Tuesday said Pfizer's vaccine offers Americans strong protection and is up to 95% effective after 2 doses. The scientists found protection begins within 10 days of the first dose and said it's effective no matter. So now you see, this is a joke because they're saying that it's effective within 10 days of the first dose. But now that people are getting 2 and 3 shots and still getting the virus 2 and 3 weeks later, oh, this is what's expected. This is what's expected. Now, y'all just like to move the goalposts and y'all talk so much that y'all think people ain't paying attention. They said there are no major side effects beyond fever, fatigue, and muscle aches. So why are all these people dying? The black community's distrust of the American medical establishment is often traced to a history of mistreatment. Wouldn't that be a logical place to justify your position? A history of mistreatment from the medical community. One of the most notorious examples is the often referred to as the Tuskegee syphilis experiment in 1932. The Public Health Service began working with the Tuskegee Institute to examine the progression of syphilis in black men in Alabama. Right, and there's skepticism to whether the doctors there gave the men syphilis or just didn't give them the cures for syphilis. I mean, there's so many. It's crazy. It's disgusting. Hundreds of black men were told they were being treated, but nearly 40 years later, a report from the Associated Press revealed they went untreated and were misled about the experiment. The families of the men were later granted a $10 million settlement and continued health benefits, but the incident remains on the minds of the black community. In addition to so many other incidents, like out here in New York City, we have literal statues dedicated to the man who is the who is the father of OBGYNs, and the level of mistreatment he used to do to the black female body, the bodies of women is disgusting. I mean, using all types of huge metal and stone objects to pretty much play around in their womb and with their vaginal walls, and in such a morbid and inhumane fashion, in the pursuit of knowledge and of a thirst for research. No one ever talks about how diabolical and how downright dark some of these scientists can be in their quote-unquote pursuit of knowledge, and the things that scientists have done to people pursuing new truths and trying to push the body to its limits and all those things. And far too often, people look like me have unfortunately been the guinea pigs for so many of these experiments. And that's not to say other people, other races, other nationalities, hell, even white people get experimented on. You've seen the X-Men. You've seen Captain America. That is a white man who signed up for an experiment and became a super soldier. So I am not saying that everyone doesn't get experimented on. What I am saying is that there's far too many examples of my community getting experimented on entirely too much and not getting any benefit. We don't get no superpowers. We can't run, jump, fly, and shoot lasers out our eyes. But our women sure do end up not being able to have children, and our children that we do have sure end up having all of these health deficiencies. So, shit, can we get a turn at the laser vision and the flying and walking through walls? Can we get a turn at those superpowers? Can we participate in those experiments? God damn. So Fauci on Tuesday acknowledged the history of the mistreatment, saying he fully respects the underlying skepticism of black Americans. The terrible and shameful things that happened a long time ago are still happening today. People are in prisons getting experimented on right now. People living in horrible conditions right now. You got doctors' offices killing patients right now, talking about the patient can deal with things. Y'all just seen that female doctor who passed away because the male Caucasian doctors, the male white doctors, whatever you want to call them, felt that she could just deal with it, and they just left her to die. So like, we gotta stop this playing this game of this long time ago stuff. Like, people are not still being treated bad today with this notion that, oh, black people can take more pain, they have a higher pain tolerance, black women can take all types of abuse and wear and tear and they'll be all right. Like, how dare you? It would be doubly tragic, the article continues, that the lingering effects of that prevent you from doing something so important. The time is now to put skepticism aside. You'll be saving yourself and your family illness as well as that of your community. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You can't say my skepticism is justified, but then put it to the side. So then you really don't feel my skepticism is justified. You feel that I'm just complaining about nothing. And that's not how this is going to work. This is absolutely not going to work that way. Anthony Fauci, you have a lot to explain for. You have a lot to atone for. You have a lot to speak up for, particularly your spearheading and handling of the things that happened during the HIV and AIDS pandemic. You were at the helm of that, and now you're at the helm of this. And that didn't seem to end well for my community. This doesn't seem like it's going to end well for my community. Both times, you're the dude with the stamp, with the hand on the stamp, pushing the buttons and executing things. Getting the big bag and the big checks to make these things happen and make a lot of people a lot of money in the process. Disgusting, man. Absolutely disgusting. No, we will not put our skepticism to the side. Yes, we will be skepticism and leery. And the more people that have high reputations in my community that put themselves in a place to get a check and go along to get along and will do this to us, whoever passes away is on your hands, man. Oh, that's harsh, Phantom. Why would you? Whoever passes away is on your hands. LeBron, Donovan Mitchell, Greg Popovich. Like, a lot of the players respect Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich just recently got his shot and said it's time for us to all do it for the sake of the country. And a lot of players respect him. They feel he's one of the best coaches ever. So they'll do it because he did it. And then they'll use their influence to do it in a public fashion. And then other people will follow behind that. And then what? What happens when people die? Oh, well, you'll go back to playing your game. What happens when a player dies? What then? Just things to think about, man. It's your boy Phantm Phuego, bringing you the news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his ghetto point of view. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Take a quick break. Be right back. Yay! Yeah, gang, and before we get out of here, thank you so much as always for rocking and vibing. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Wednesdays and Sundays is when we get to it. You know how we do it. Please make sure any questions, comments, critiques, any information you want to share me, pictures, photos, news links, articles you like to share, music you want me to check out, films, television shows you're working on, whatever it is, man, apps, projects you're developing. Please continue to send me everything to his ghetto point of view at gmail.com, and please continue to donate. PayPal.me/Phantm Phuego, and at Venmo it's Phantm-Phuego-42, Phantm-Phuego-4242. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. It means the world. So Spotify is now looking into paying in Bitcoin, joining so many other big titans now starting to accept it. I don't know if you guys saw the other day when Tesla purchased $1.5 billion, acquired $1.5 billion worth of cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin, and how they completely pushed the market way up after that. Bitcoin saw all-time highs as far as pricing is concerned. So yeah, man, it's just a very good time in the markets. And also companies like Visa, PayPal, Square, all now accepting Bitcoin transactions. You'll be able to buy Teslas via Bitcoin. I brought you guys the story a few weeks back of the person selling 2 bars in Lower Manhattan, prime real estate location. Great bars, all the amenities included, just for 25 Bitcoin. So I mean, it was equated to about 800 or 900 grand. So I mean, the times are changing, gang. It is happening. It is happening super fast. Well, it equated to about 800 Bitcoin then. Now it's closer to about $1 million in Bitcoin. So that person knows something very smart. So, audio streaming giant Spotify is looking into crypto payments, according to CoinTelegraph.com. Spotify, one of the world's largest streaming providers, is looking for candidates with a crypto background to fill a new role at the company. According to a recent job post, the company is looking for an outstanding associate director to join its payment strategy and innovation department. According to an announcement on LinkedIn, the new job posting was posted on Wednesday. The new position is expected to play a key role in defining and implementing Spotify's payment strategy, as well as furthering the company's involvement in Facebook's recently rebranded crypto project, Diem, which is formerly Libra. Facebook is also going to have their own crypto gang where you can pay people directly on Facebook in this currency. Insane. And it's going to have a dollar value. Man, things is changing. You can buy, and literally you can buy anything in Facebook with this new with their cryptocurrency called Diem. And it's not just limited to buying stuff from other people on Facebook. Like, there will be tons of companies, big, huge companies, Nike, Coors, Bud, like MedMen, all that, selling to you right there, and it will convert your Diem in the exchange right there into whatever currency they're accepting at the time. Crazy, crazy, crazy. The position will also focus on wider digital assets and the crypto industry, including central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. The announcement notes you will drive further consideration of new opportunities and innovation in the emerging ecosystem of distributed ledger technology, blockchains, cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, CBDCs, and other digital assets. According to the posting, the new role will be based in Spotify's London or Stockholm offices, requiring frequent travel between the two offices and other company locations. Spotify did not immediately respond to the Cointelegraph's request for comment. Spotify is one of the initial members of the Libra Foundation that was formally founded in Geneva in October 2019. Unlike PayPal and MasterCard, Spotify is among the firms that have not abandoned Facebook's crypto project over increased scrutiny from global regulators. It's going down, yo. It's going way down. Mm-mm-mm. This is going to be very, very serious, gang. Just watch. Just watch. If you haven't gotten into the to the wave of the cryptocurrencies, if you're an artist, this should mean that you need to start at least studying a little bit about what it is, because you may be very well getting paid in a cryptocurrency soon from Spotify, from Apple Music, from Tidal, from Pandora, from whatever. If you're on DistroKid as your aggregator, for those that don't know, an aggregator is a person who just takes your collection of media materials, your songs, your movies, whatever, and puts it on the different big streaming platforms, the Spotify's, the Apple Music, the titles, what have you. They're called aggregators. There's a couple of them out here that do a great job. CD Baby, TuneCore, DistroKid, great job these aggregators do. There's another one called Notes, if I'm not mistaken. I have to I can't remember the name at the moment. But yeah, there's a ton of them out there that do great work. And this is crazy. If they're gonna start paying artists in cryptocurrencies, artists really need to be up on this game. Artists really need to be up on this game. Artists really need to be up on this game. So if you don't agree with that, I don't know what to say to you. I mean, we already have sites like Pornhub only accepting cryptos now. Visa Bitcoin credit card rewards is another huge thing that's coming out for those that don't know. I mean, so this thing is huge. You got Rapper Little Yachty putting together his own Bitcoin. We've talked about that in previous episodes. His own cryptocurrency, excuse me. We've spoken about that in previous episodes. I mean, this thing is getting big. I know some people say, it's a scam. They think it's gonna go somewhere, and it's not, you're not gonna be able to have access to your money if the internet goes down. I mean, listen, there are risks and rewards with everything in life, and you got to figure out if the rewards outweigh the risk for you personally, and you want to jump in. I say do it. This is the time. We got to stop playing. Got to stop being on the back burner when it comes to these things. So I'll leave y'all with this. According to Bloomberg Wealth, a new Visa credit card offers Bitcoin rewards instead of miles or cash. Visa Inc. is partnering with cryptocurrency startup BlockFi to offer a credit card that rewards purchases with Bitcoin rather than airline miles or cash. And this is according to Bloomberg.com and their Bloomberg Wealth section. Users of Bitcoin Rewards credit card will receive 1.5% of their purchases back in the world's most valuable digital asset and a lump sum of $250 in the crypto asset if they spend more than $3,000 in the first 3 months. That's actually a pretty good deal. The card, which comes with a $200 annual fee, will be issued by Evolve Bank and Trust. $200 a year. The mainstream adoption of Bitcoin received a boost from Visa earlier this year when the credit card giant joined startup Fold to offer a debit card that earns rewards denominated in cryptocurrency. Wow, that's dope. A debit card that earns rewards denominated in... That's really dope. So you got debit cards that you get rewards on for your purchases in crypto. This is happening, guys. Visa's approach to crypto has been evolving. Just 2 years ago, it was in a public fight with Coinbase Inc., the exchange, over issues relating to purchases made using its cards. Then in February, Coinbase and Visa announced the Coinbase card, which allows users to spend Bitcoin using the Visa debit card. Come on, gang. This is happening now. We're excited to add credit cards to our suite of products and expand Bitcoin's accessibility to a broader set of consumers, Zach Prince, Chief Executive Officer and founder at BlockFi, said in a statement. The company hopes to make the card available in early 2021. Bitcoin has rallied more than 160% this year, sparking debate over whether the run-up shows it's becoming a store of value or is in a bubble. One last one on the gang. Bitcoin nears 50 bandos as it hits a record in weekend in action. Bitcoin reached a new record on Sunday, rising above 49 grand for the first time. The world's largest cryptocurrency reached about $49,694 earlier in the day before pairing gains to around $48,904 as of 10 a.m., which means, came down a little bit off the super high that it reached early in the morning in New York. It's now up almost 70% so far this year. Gang, if y'all don't see the writing on the wall to invest in this. You don't see the writing on the wall to invest in this, gang. I don't know what else to say. Y'all. Just something to think about. But it's your boy, Phantm Phuego. Thank you so much, gang, for rocking and vibing with me, giving me some of your time on a Sunday. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I super duper appreciate that. Shout out to AJ's Kitchen, ajskitchen@gmail.com. And kitchen spelled KITCHINN, AJSKITCHINN. Also on Instagram, Twitter, all your dope social medias. Place orders on any of those platforms, or if they're Gmail, ajskitchen@gmail.com. Happiness served, order up, and also check out their new brother company, Phantm Pantry, making all types of CBD infused topicals, just a health and wellness brand in particular. Making all types of amazing products. I am in love with their CBD infused gummy bears and cookies and cocoa butter lotions. They really helped me out, gang. Really helped me. I got all these surgeries and stuff I've been having, and a lot of physical therapy and just dealing with the grind of that. So helps me out so much. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. AJ's Kitchen at gmail.com, or also check out their new line, Phantm Pantry. Thank you so much for your time, or your energy, or your love. It's the support is super appreciated. You guys keep me on my toes. Y'all keep me going. Y'all keep me motivated. Y'all keep me sharp. I'm humbled, and I'm forever appreciative. See you guys on Wednesday. We're going to get through it. It's going to be a great week. It's going to be good. They acquitted. Get over it. Those of you that's mad about it. Those of you that celebrate and don't celebrate too tough. Because as you saw, they did put stuff into the record, which means to me they're going to try to appeal. So don't be too happy just yet. It's your boy, Phantm Phuego. Phantm Phuego. I'm getting up out of here. Catch me on Instagram, his Ghetto Point of View, HGPOV show, etc. Love gang. Deuces.